The Korean Central News Agency released a report on the 9th under the title, "On Taking Measures to Completely Cut Off All the Communication Lines Between the North and the South." The report reads, "The South Korean authorities have connived at the anti-DPRK hostilities of the human scum, evading their heavy responsibility and the dirty signboard as if they're hopeless. After all, they have brought the inter-Korean relations to the catastrophic end. All our people are indignant at such perfidious and cunning behavior of the South Korean authorities, with whom we have many scores to settle. Under the futile behavior and connivance of the South Korean authorities, the despicable human scum committed hostile acts against the DPRK, daring to tarnish the dignity of its supreme leadership, to deride the secret mental kernel of all our people, and antagonize them in the long run. There can be neither a pardon nor an opportunity in the very issue. We should make them pay for it. We cannot barter the dignity of our supreme leadership for anything, but will defend it at the risk of our lives. After all, we have come to a conclusion that there is no need to sit face to face with the South Korean authorities, evoking only disillusion, nor an issue to discuss with them." At a meeting for summing up the work of the sections for the affairs with the South held on the 8th, Kim Yong-chol, Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, and Kim Yo-sung, First Deputy Department Director of the Party Central Committee, stressing the need to transport the affairs with the South thoroughly into the work against the enemy, given instruction on deliberating the phased plans of work against the enemy to make a correct calculation of the crimes committed by the betrayers and human scum, and on completely cutting off all the communication lines between the North and the South, first of all. According to it, the sector concerned of the North side will completely cut off and scrap the communication line between the authorities of the North and the South, the East-West Coast communication line between the military authorities of the North and the South, the North-South trial communication line, and the hotline between the headquarters of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and the Blue House, which have been kept through the Inter-Korean Joint Liaison Office from 12 hours on June the 9th, 2020. This step is the first stage action according to our determination to completely close all levers of contact with the South Koreans and do away with unnecessary things."
A protest mass rally of the members of the Union of Agricultural Workers of Korea and Agricultural Workers was held at the Education Yard of the Susan-ri Class Education House in Gangso District of Nampo City on the 8th, denouncing the South Korean authorities and the defectors from the North for their hostile acts against the DPRK. Present there were Kim Sang-yeop, Chairman of the Central Committee of the Union of Agricultural Workers of Korea, officials of the Union and agricultural workers. At the rally, Kim Sang-yeop read out the press statement issued by Kim Yo-sung, First Deputy Department Director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, concerning the anti-DPRK hostilities committed by defectors from the North with connivance of the South Korean authorities. Then speeches were made. Speakers condemned the human scum for their unpardonable anti-DPRK leafleting and said those on the cooperative fields across the country are venting their anger on the South Korean authorities who have connived them and furthered such senseless acts. They bitterly denounced the despicable acts done by the human scum who are worse than the earthworms in the heap of compost, and by the South Korean authorities who furthered hooliganism as an unpardonable extra-large crime. We will wipe out those who tarnish the dignity of our supreme leadership like rooting out the barnyard grass in the poppy fields, they stressed. A letter of protest was read out at a rally representing the hatred of all members of the union and agricultural workers ready to deal a heavy blow at the defectors from the North and the South Korean authorities. Protest demonstrations of youth and students were staged in Pyongyang City and all provinces on the 7th and the 8th in denunciation of the South Korean authorities and the defectors from the North. The demonstrators marched, carrying with themselves those placards with slogans including "Burn up the traitors precipitating their ruin" and "Tear apart the defectors from the North, traitors to the nation and human scum," as well as hand slogans. The youth and students in the capital marched from the Youth Park open-air theater in Pyongyang City along streets to the tune of the song, all of us will become human rifles and bombs from a loudspeaker car, burning their hearts with a will to mercilessly punish those mad doggers that dare to injure the dignity of the supreme leadership. Youth and students in South and North Pyongan, South and North Hwanghae, Chagang, South and North Hamgyong, Gangwon, and Ryanggang provinces, and Nampo, Kaesong, and Rason cities came out to the squares and streets and called for sweeping away all the human scum crazy for confrontation with a fellow countrymen and the traitors shielding those fools. A new